So, here we go. It's time for our video game review. It's the last one of the year. We did it.
Hey, woo!
Another one that was kind of hard to find. I finally found some info on it, but it was Super Fire Pro Wrestling X Premium. That's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. It came out in 1996, and it was released on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. We watched some clips, and because the first thing we noticed, I was actually talking to him while we were trying to watch these clips, and I mentioned that it said all the wrestlers had made-up names, but you could recognize them by their attire and such. And then we start watching it, and they had their actual names.
Yeah, the person that we watched the video of clearly were allowed to edit the names,
Yeah,
so he just edited all their names to be their actual names.
Yeah, because they were supposed to have, like LOD was on there, Chris Benoit, Ric Flair, all sorts of, and he went and named everybody their actual.
Yeah, Animal or Hawk was supposed to be Overdose or some shit like that,
That we saw like before. Yeah, so we dug deeper and was like, wow, you gotta remember this is 1996, so all this stuff I'm about to tell you about this is pretty impressive. They already had a roster of 150 wrestlers, which is a lot already. They had a creation studio, and you could add up to 70 more wrestlers.
That's insane.
My co-host here knows a lot more about video games and the way they operate and everything than I do, but for 1996, that's
impressive as fuck.
Yeah.
On Super Nintendo? On the Super Nintendo,
yes.
that is impressive as fuck.
And to have over 500 moves to choose from to make your movesets is a lot.
I am curious what their original names they had for those people.
I know, but I can't find
Was
a
Hulk
roster.
Hogan steroid mastered?
Right.
Or something like that? Or I Steal the Spotlight?
Was Oh, wow. This guy. That's good stuff, though. I Steal the Spotlight.
I Steal the Spotlight?
Every top guy does. You just don't realize it until you go back and watch it. I'm just saying. Shawn Michaels. It's just there was something about Hulk Hogan moments that made him annoying. Because, Hogan must pose. But Shawn shakes that ass for a good,
we've been watching
15 minutes.
2 years of wrestling, 95, 96. Shawn Michaels has only been the champion for half of that. He hasn't been, and he just lost the title.
Right.
That's
what people don't remember is Hogan didn't have a lot of runs. They were longer. Like Hogan wasn't champion 80 times. It may seem like it. But it was just his runs.
He just never lost the damn title.
He just had it all the time. Yeah, he didn't. They were. It's not like he was champion 80 times. It was just So from the footage, if anybody out there has ever played the Fire Pro Wrestling series, it's the standard Fire Pro system, but we noticed that you could change arenas. It actually had a lot of options.
You got to choose. You could even customize what referee
you wanted. We were watching some footage, and it showed you could have submission match, or a standard 3-count match. I saw an option where you could turn tags on or off, which I assume would make it a tornado match.
They had a fucking fatal 4-way elimination match.
They did, because we were watching the footage.
Which I don't think we've seen in wrestling.
No.
Well, we've seen a fatal 4-way tag team match.
But we haven't seen it done like this, because it was not... And the 4-way actually looked like a 4-way. It wasn't like on WrestleMania, the arcade game, where the 4-way didn't really... It was like 3-on-1. It wasn't that. It wasn't a handicap. It was actually...
No, it was fatal 4-way
elimination match. It mentioned that in the creation studios that there were already everything was already there, so you could make Sting, Bret Hart, and a British Bulldog, and we saw Bret Hart in the game, and you would have never known somebody had to create them. Was the sprites were still 2D, but for 1996, just the options alone made this. Actually, you were like, man, I wish I could play this now, because we talk about this a lot, and this man's...
I more meant, I wish I would have got to play it back then.
Yeah, back then.
Yes. I can create my own characters now on...
That was the point I was getting to, though, is, he loves to create. It's not just, that he podcasts. He loves to create stuff. And he'll create all sorts of things on the wrestling game. I'm the lazy guy that takes the template, throws a mask on it. I'm like, there's my wrestler, because I don't have the patience.
I sometimes do that when I get to wrestler number 20.
So if you would have had this at this time, this would have been right up your alley.
Oh my gosh! Every single one of those people would be created characters.
But there were guys on here you got to remember this time Chris Benoit was on this game, but he was Pegasus when he was over in Japan. Eddie Guerrero's on this game, but he was Black Mask in Japan, so his face is covered up. But somebody actually went through and gave everybody their actual names, so that was pretty cool. I would have played it. I've been a fan of Fire Pro for a long time. I'd never played this, though. It was also actually the last Fire Pro Wrestling game on the Super Nintendo. So,
I have a feeling this is going to be our last Super Nintendo wrestling game that we're going to talk about.
Probably. And I think we're going to get more big games in 97 because we only had, 2 that were legit. A WCW game and a WWE game, and everything else has been Japan imports. Yeah. So, but we're going to start
97 is going to be more 64 and PlayStation games.
Yeah, some of the good ones. Some of the good ones we'll actually remember playing, which will make it a little better.
Absolutely. But no, this was it was cool. It was obviously at the end of the Super Nintendo's life cycle.
Yeah.
But it's impressive. I mean, Create a Player was not a thing until probably, whenever we get to WCW versus NWO.
Which might be next year, but it could be.
I don't think they had the Create a Player on Versus the World, did they?
And you definitely couldn't
Maybe World Tour?
You definitely couldn't change every wrestler's name. You couldn't do all that. That was definitely
maybe versus, because I know they made WCW versus the World Tour.
Yeah.
That was an updated.
Version of
that. Might have Create a Player. I don't know.
That might, and I think that'll be next year.
And that might be next year. Yeah.
All right. Well, are we done?
Yeah, there wasn't much to. I mean, it was cool.
I mean, it was cool to see, but we couldn't. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the roster. I actually had to go to Wikipedia doesn't even have anything about it except this is the name of it and here's when it came out. You know, the info I did get came from the Retro Gamer website. So.
I feel like they probably gave them fake names with the intention of, because you could edit it, people were just going to edit it to be. And
now, even today, I don't think you could just, because the Road Warriors have their makeup and everything, you can give them fake names, but they didn't change anything else. It'd be a little harder to pull that off today, I think, because there'd still be copyright issues with, face paint and...
Right.
Sure, you could make Ric Flair not put the RF on his trunks and call him something else and get away with that, but when you got guys that have such specific, it was easier back then.
You say that... But have you messed with the customization in these games?
Oh, well, you can make whatever you want in the customize. Yeah, that's different. You're making it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You can literally...
But LOD, though, was on their roster already, is what I was pointing out. That wasn't a creation thing.
Right, and I understand that.
But yeah, you're right. You can make anybody. You can have CM Punk on your game. You can have anybody you want on your game.
Yeah, on my...
Frankenstein, Spider-Man.
On my WWE 2K22, it's people have AEW wrestlers on there, and they're pretty faithful recreations because they allow you nowadays to actually upload pictures that you take off the internet.
Yeah. So the only one you can't get away with that is Benoit.
Really?
Yeah, people have tried it and they get banned. You cannot do Benoit's actual face, believe it or not. That's yeah. So
well.
Wonder why. Dark side of the ring.
Even on the game, they don't want you to have a murderer on there. You could probably make Charles Manson.
You can still make him. You could make Benoit. But you can't use an actual face scan. Yeah, you can't do the face.
Oh yeah, I don't mess with the face scan.
Yeah. So anyway,
I tried to do it with me. It was weird.
All right. So.